Okay, so this is a video I've been contemplating for quite some time. This is a development I created, I call it Hot Fingers. And basically it's a resistor inside and it can connect up to a USB charger and keep the fingers warm. You can have a long lead, you can have a short lead, depending on what you want. You can have two multiples coming out. You can stick that in a glove, just in the palm. So it can go into a glove or that way, and it will create nice warmth. Now that's actually pretty good, just from a power supply. It's a 1/4 of an amp. But what I also found was that if you get these fans, you can buy these on Alibaba or eBay or whatever, maybe $3 or $4 each. I'm not sure how much, not much. You can get USB-C, you can get the 2.0 type, like this. You can get the Apple one, like that. And if you pull that apart carefully, these are wired in such a way that obviously there's an output from your phone. And I was running it from a phone. So I have a phone here, and we will plug this. Just bear with me 1 second. You have a fan, and it's blowing quite nicely. Now I measured the output of that fan because you're going to be able to use that fan without it being a problem for the battery in your phone. And it was around about 1/4 of an amp. I thought, well, you beauty. So I pulled one of these apart and I made, have I still got it? I think I've lost it actually. I've got the USB. Okay, so we've got this one here, it just goes USB. I made this USB 2.0 version that goes in just an Android phone, and that goes to this one here. This was the first one I actually made. And so I made another one which I've misplaced, but it's basically perfect like that. This is heat shrink with a resistor in it, not hard, and just an old. Everyone's got an old iPhone cable. Normally it's the end that goes into the phone that's craps out, but if you've got one, they're everywhere. You can cut it about there, and this part here would go into the iPhone, and that part there, the wire, will go to the resistor, and then you put some heat shrink around it. It's as simple as that. Now that's warm. It's been going for about probably 4 minutes, just before the video started. Now that's warm enough there already that yeah, that's warming my hands. Like it's definitely 45 degrees or 50, I can feel the difference. But that will get up to around about 55 degrees, I found out, with the resistance that I chose. Now I've forgotten what resistance it was. I will be doing, for Robert Murray Smith, I'll be sending him a video on how I made it. The intention was, I was thinking about turning it into a product, but I just don't have time. I've got so many things going on. So it's been sitting for 2 or 3 years on my desk, and I decided to give it to the people because there's a lot of people out there that could really do with a bit of personal heating at the moment, especially in Europe with what's going on. And look, if someone wants to turn it into a product, go for it. It will be copied by the Chinese at some point. Someone will twig and they'll pump them out at a ridiculous price, and good for us, because at the end of the day, sometimes you sit on something and it just doesn't happen. It wasn't greed, it was actually just part of my businesses, and I thought it was a decent product that I could get made quite cheap. But yeah, look, do it. If you want to turn it into a business, maybe even just a small business making them and selling them, go for it. I'm not going to do it. I've got other things going on. So yeah, okay. So you can get these ones here. That's a USB 2.0. You got the the one for the Apple phone. They've also got these little beauties. These are a triple. They got the Apple, the USB-C, and if you pull this off, you get the USB 2.0. So that can do all three phones. And so the output of there that goes to the little motor, which actually looks like that there, so that literally disconnect them two wires, and they're the two wires you attach to your resistor. So it really isn't hard. And basic soldering skills, bit of the old U-Butte heat shrink. A resistor, I'm not sure what the value is now, I'll have to retest it, but you want it to draw around about that there, so 1/4 of an amp. Any more and it gets too hot, you just don't need it to be that hot. That in a glove, that's heaps warmer already. That's probably, I'd say that's 55 degrees, and that's perfect in a glove. You can just have it in your glove, or you can just put it inside your glove, down one of your fingers, and that'll just keep it warm enough that it will definitely, once you close your hand, that heat's contained, and that's a lovely temperature. Your hands won't get hot, you won't burn yourself, it won't be that hot, it'll just be lovely, and that's what you want. Now, what else can I do here? So we've got our amp drawer to tell you, and yeah, so you can make it quite long. A long lead's not an issue. You get, 2 meter long leads. You can have it in your pocket, and you can have one running down each arm. So the inner pocket near your heart, you can have the battery or your phone or whatever you got. You can run it off a small battery if you do this style. But you've always got your phone on you, and it really doesn't draw that much. So it's not going to affect your phone battery in any way, harm it or make it lose charge or anything like that rapidly. It's a very low draw. It's actually around about what your screen uses by memory. So any gaming or something like that you're playing or using the video like I am now, that will be drawing around about 1 amp. So it's just not an issue for the battery at all. What else can I show you? I think that's it. So you can also beauty. This is actually for another project. This is a variable speed for USB. I'll just connect that up for you and show you how that works. So if you wanted to do a different resistance value and get it far hotter, like a heat pad in your jacket or something, you could run it through that. I'll connect that up, 1 second. We'll turn that on. Now this is basically a pulse width modulator. So now you can vary the output if you wanted to build something with that. You can go all the way up to 25, 26, 30. Wow, look at that. That is actually giving me more. I must have had it in the other side before, but that's actually drawing 1/2 amp now. So that's even better, unless there's something incredibly inaccurate going on, but I think that's correct. It's a bit surprising. Let's just take that out and put that back in on its own and see what's going on. I don't really understand that. That's bizarre. I think what that might be doing, that pulse width modulator, is tricking that because it's pulse maybe 50% duty cycle or something, different frequency, and this is actually picking it up as higher. But that's actually 5.01 volt under load. And before, I'll just switch this back on. Yeah, so not quite sure if that's right, but the voltage has sagged a fair bit more, so it probably is right, but I just don't know why that would do that. Unless we've just discovered some over Unity device, which I don't think so. Anyway, that's the end of that video, and any questions, feel free. I will be posting this for Robert Murray Smith. He might be doing a video on it, a DIY one. Most likely he might find some way to improve it even further, but as for simple, I don't think you can get much simpler than resistive heating, and for efficiency you can't get really any more efficient than resistive heating, especially for personal. You're not heating the space, you're heating yourself, and that's what you want. Because my fingers get cold, but my feet get even colder. So a foot version that can go into your shoe shouldn't be too hard. You wouldn't necessarily need to use that type of resistor. You could use you got to be a bit careful with shoes because they have glue that are thermal softening and your sole can fall off. But if you could run something down there, maybe even a bit of carbon felt that's, heats up to sort of like 40 degrees or something to keep your feet warm. That's probably something I'll be doing sometime. It's summer here now, so probably not on my mind, but I nearly did it in winter with my my slippers, and I was still getting cold feet because yeah, unfortunately they were Ugg boots, moccasin types, and nice thick foam sole, but my feet were still getting cold. I got bad circulation. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to do that with a bit of carbon felt. I mean, you could do it with carbon paint. Robert's got carbon paint too, and you could buy it from his shop and make your own. It shouldn't be too hard for him to show you how to do that sort of stuff. So, in saying that, thanks for watching, and look forward to any comments or subscribes or any questions. Yeah, fire away. I think I should be able to explain anything in greater detail. It's not really that hard, so go for it. Thanks for watching. Bye.